You're wired in. SmallCapVoice.com. Following is a presentation of SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support. Now, with your online business briefing, SmallCapVoice.com's Stuart T. Smith.
Thank you so much for joining us here today at SmallCapVoice.com. And as you just heard, you are listening to an online business briefing, and I'm your host, Stuart Smith. And we're welcoming back to the show Marley Coffee. They're traded on the over-the-counter bulletin board exchange under the ticker symbol JAMN. And we're welcoming back to the show the Chief Executive Officer for the company, Brent Toevs. Brent, how you doing today?
I'm good, Stuart. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming by. Boy, there's just been a lot going on with your company, but not just your company, but the coffee industry, the peripheral restaurant industry. We're going to get into all that today, as well as some shareholder questions as we push on into this audio interview. But let's start off with the recent Q that was just filed. Tell us what areas you're most proud of and what areas you're most disappointed by in this recent Q filed by Marley Coffee. Go ahead, Brent.
Well, there's a lot to be excited about, Stuart. We continue to dial down on all the different business channels that we've entered into the last year. So you compare our Q3 to last year, and we had great growth, over 300%. A little disappointed that we didn't have the growth over our last quarter, but a little bit to be expected just because of the delay of our Real Cups. We were excited. In the first few weeks, our first orders, we had over 500,000 Real Cups ordered, Marley Coffee Real Cups. Now, that was great, and we're very excited, and it's going to fast track and really grow, but we were really planning on getting those launched in July, and because of numerous reasons, they were delayed until November. So we're a little bit behind. That's why we probably didn't have the growth over last quarter, but I think we're back on track, and we're pretty excited about 2013.
That's excellent. And listeners, that Real Cups press release that Brent was just referring to came out December 11th. Use that ticker symbol again, JAMN. Now, where are the Real Cups being distributed now, Brent?
We started out in Canada with London Drugs as our anchor retailer in the West. We also had some independents like ECS Coffee in Toronto, so the eastern part of Canada, and break room vending companies and also a few distribution companies in Canada brought us on. And then the U.S., we really followed the same pattern. We had some independent retailers bring those on, and now we're really starting to see a movement into the mainstream. So along with our e-tailers such as Amazon, Coffee Icon, Coffee Titan, we just were put onto OfficeDepot.com. So we're really excited to be involved with Office Depot, and we're going to, keep growing that relationship as we penetrate into other parts of their business model.
That's a huge name and a huge validation for your product and a great company to be associated with. Well, we are in January 2013, so what are some of the areas you're going to focus on in 2013 to generate growth for the company? And what are some of the low-hanging fruits that can bring some good returns now? Go ahead.
Well, certainly now that we have our Real Cups off the ground, the whole single-serve market, that's the fastest growing part of the coffee industry. So we're really focused on that. So, low-hanging fruit would be things such as the retail grocery. Now, it's low-hanging fruit, but it is a long process to get to market. But we have a lot of great customers that are going to be coming on board in that segment. We think about hospitality. We finally got our first couple of Best Western properties on board, and they're going with single serve. We have a couple other properties coming on board in the next couple of months. As you know, Stuart, we brought on Chris Hopkins to go after that retail grocery segment, and he has been quickly bringing on distributors who are getting our products into their queue, and we're launching at some regional trade shows over the next couple of months. So we're just going to continue to go after these different business channels in the coffee industry, and we're really excited about the prospects.
Well, Brent, how is Marley Coffee different from the rest of these products from a product and taste perspective? Obviously, we know the name Marley Coffee does separate itself from its competitors, but let's talk about product and taste perspective.
Well, I think, obviously taste is key, and we are not going to release any product until, we are confident that it is the best tasting product in that segment. So I guess we've been talking about real cups. We're very, very proud of our real cups. It took us quite a while to get those profiles correct. We have take our One Love, our Ethiopian Yirgacheffe coffee. We'll put that up against any coffee in that segment as far as single serve, and we're confident that we're going to come out on top. Our Jamaica Blue Mountain, our Talking Blues, that coffee comes right from our farm. It's brought over from Jamaica in the green form and then roasted and packaged, and the proof is in the cup. We are very confident in all of our products. So from a taste perspective, we're very confident that we should be right at the top of the heap. Now, what makes us different? Certainly, the Marley name makes us different, but you really have to back that up. If you think about all of the Marley branded products, House of Marley, Marley Beverage, these are lifestyle products. They really focus on sustainability and giving back, and we've seen the success that our partner companies have had. And that's really the footsteps that we're following it into. We want to make it a real and true point of difference. So not only have the best tasting and quality product, but one that consumers can be confident in that when they purchase and consume that product, they're part of a movement, of a lifestyle, and they're really giving back.
Well, there's a great article I want to refer to in this next questions, and I want the listeners to be able to go find it. So it's at Bloomberg.com. Bloomberg put out an article on January 6th. Obviously, the link is available right here below the player at SmallCapVoice.com. So you can follow along. The headline, Coffee Deal Wave Sparks Krispy Kreme to Jamba Appetite. The article goes over a lot of different segments and M&As, which is merger and acquisitions, but it also talks about how these companies are using coffee to leverage higher revenues. Now, given so much competition from some monster players out there, how does Marley effectively capture market share?
Well, it's nice to have the attention that we do as far as the coffee industry as a whole. Many great companies have been around for many years, but we're seeing a lot of interest, and we're seeing a focus on coffee. People are knowing what those of us who have been in the industry have known for so long, that coffee is a key and integral part of that offering. So whether it's Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts, certainly Starbucks, we've seen the success of companies like Green Mountain and their partners. It's still a growing segment, and we know that the more brands that get involved, the more credible brands that get involved, it's going to attract people to that segment. So we're very excited to be a part of it. And of course, like we discussed before, we really think we have many points of difference that will really bring consumers over to our brand. So I think we're still a long way from a saturation point, and we just want to keep growing along with our competitors. But we just see it as such a positive.
Excellent. We really respect your assessment of the market, so we appreciate getting that from you, Brent. Well, let's jump into a shareholder concern. Some of the shareholders, I'm on the front line, I take the phone calls from them, and they had some concerns about the insider transactions. As I understand it, JAMN management does not receive much in the way of salaries, and the sale of S8 shares in the month of December is a way to get some compensation. Am I correct in that assessment, and can you elaborate on that for me, Brent?
No, you're dead on with that. That was a way for us to preserve cash flow for the company right now. Of the 3 directors that have received the S8 shares, we've been careful not to sell too many of those. Our goal really is to make sure that we have the proper and enough cash flow to grow this company. So we want to give shareholders a return for their investment in the company. So if that means the tightening of our belts for a little while, so be it. I think of Rohan, who for many years has gotten the company from that idea stage to where we are now. He's been going without compensation for forever. So we'll do whatever it takes to get this company to be a strong company. So a little bit of short-term sacrifice for long-term growth is fine. We're all believers in this company, and we're going to be here for a long time.
great. And again, listeners, you are welcome to call us here at SmallCapVoice.com. We timed up the 8K, looked at the insider transactions. You will notice, actually, on several of those dates, the stock gapped up. So in other words, nobody's pounding on the bids of this stock to do this. So it's being done in as gentle a manner as it can be. And as you said, it also helps with the bottom line because you're not taking those salaries as most companies, I would say, do. So let's move on, though. Let's go back to that article. Coffee is a hot commodity right now. Again, Caribou Coffee just announced that it's being acquired by the same people that acquired Pete. What kind of impact do you think that'll have on publicly traded coffee companies, and will this have an impact on the market in general?
Well, again, I think we mentioned it before. It certainly brings a lot of exposure to the category. We think that's great. As investors and as the general public learn about these companies, certainly it brings a lot of exposure, but it also brings scrutiny. I think that's great. It keeps us on our toes. We want to make sure that, we're performing in a way that's going to bring value to our shareholders. So I just see it as a positive. A lot of these companies are a lot more mature than us. They've been around a lot longer. I've had the privilege and the pleasure to work for many of these companies, and they're all quality companies, many that we try and fashion ourselves after. But being at a stage where we're pretty young, we're pretty small, I think an advantage that we have is that we can move really, really quickly. We're looking at a lot of the trends that are going on in the marketplace right now. Stuart, we've talked about it. The trends to go to cappuccino and espresso-based drinks. We've seen some other coffee companies do this. We're looking at these opportunities also. So we're trying to stay on top of the trends. Of course, we look at what our competitors are doing, but first and foremost, we want to make sure that we know what the consumers want and make sure that we can deliver a quality cup of coffee or coffee-based beverage that they're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of.
Well, some analysts believe that Krispy Kreme or Jamba Juice could be another acquisition target for one of these big boys out there soaking up some of these companies. The obvious question, I'm sure, on the minds of many shareholders is JAMN a target for acquisition?
We're certainly not looking to be acquired at all. We're still a startup company, and we believe there's just so much room for us to grow. Again, I keep going back to the real cups. But as you know, they're compatible with most of the Keurig branded single-serve machines that are out there. And look at how many of those brewers are in the field. Estimates now are that there's almost 400,000 brewers in offices, over 10.5 million brewers in homes. Well, we're just getting into that segment, and we know that there's still so much to be penetrated in that segment. So, no, we're still at the beginning stages, but I think as you can see in the last year, we're just getting going, and we're looking forward, for many years of good, solid, steady growth.
Well, let's jump into the international scene, which we touched on in our last audio interview. We went over international growth, specifically Canada. Give us your vision for Marley Coffee in terms of continued international growth in 2013.
Yeah, we're really excited about international growth. Again, we go back to the Marley name. It's an internationally known name. It's recognized again as a name that denotes a certain lifestyle, giving back. And we look at our partner companies, Marley Beverage, House of Marley. They've just done a great job tapping into that with their products, and we expect to do the same. We're really excited about Marley Coffee UK. Guy over in London, he has just done a great job of getting our brand established and starting to make it grow. Not only in the UK, but also in different European countries. So we have a lot of opportunity there. Our partners in Japan have done a great job. We've recently come into an agreement with the Cala, based out of Chile in Santiago, and they are just going crazy out of the gates. A really good start. We're actually heading over to Jamaica with them next week. Going to go tour the farm. We're going to do some marketing products and images and programs, and we're excited about that. And we continue to look for other partners. We have a few others in different countries that we're talking about. But again, we want to make sure that we partner with companies that have the same goals that we do. So we're taking it slow, but then when we do partner up with a company, we're very excited to grow with them.
As we've always told you, Marley Coffee is a fully reported company on the OTCBB, and here at SmallCapVoice.com, you can find everything you need to know about this company to make an investment in the company. The ticker symbol, once again, JAMN, J-A-M-N, and in every press release, as in the press release for this audio interview, there's just a ton of ways to learn more about this company and contact the company. Social media, they're on Facebook at Marley Coffee, Twitter at Marley Coffee as well. These links are once again available in all these press releases. Brent, what a great interview. Good to catch up with you as always. I'm excited for you and the company in 2013. It looks like you guys have got some ambitious goals once again at the start of the year. And last year you did a terrific job, so I expect great things from you and the company once again in 2013. Thanks for your time, Brent.
Thanks, Stuart. Always a pleasure.
For Brent Toevs, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for listening.
SmallCapVoice.com, today's leader in investor relations, capital formation, and retail support, provides its clients with the highest level of service. Our audio interviews are disseminated to one of the largest opt-in audiences available today. How? We at SmallCapVoice.com believe in aligning and affiliating ourselves with other leaders within the investor relations community. By sharing resources, each affiliated firm is made that much stronger and each client is served that much better. Our focus is to identify and provide the very best financial services and solutions available to clients and their shareholders. For more information about our services, please call us at 512-267-2430 or visit us on the web at www.smallcapvoice.com. This is a broadcast of SmallCapVoice.com, a financial communications and investor relations firm. SmallCapVoice.com receives payment for investor relations and financial consulting services that it provides to its clients. You should assume that officers, directors, and employees of SmallCapVoice.com or financial analysts mentioned and their families hold a position and intend to trade in these securities for their own accounts. This is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell securities. Information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be, nor should it be construed as, investment advice. As in all investments, an investment in a featured company carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the company thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. This broadcast does not purport to be a complete study of the featured company or other companies mentioned. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured company and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by SmallCapVoice.com as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice.